ladies and gentlemen of Alderaan and across our beloved Kyber Empire, to today's video, a video that I'm always excited for Galaxy Heroes, and that is talk about the top 10 characters on my wish list for 2023. It's a yearly tradition that we do around here. We're at the new year. I like to talk about the characters that I would hope to see come to Galaxy Heroes based off my personal wants, as well as what's going on in Star Wars at large out there. And unfortunately, I failed you guys. I thought we did this video in 2022. We did not. The last time I did this video was 2021. I'm sorry, but it's still cool to go back to that video that I did of Cups and Han and look at the characters that we wished for, and they came. Dark Trooper, Hondo, Boba Fett, Lord Vader, Master Kenobi. I can only hope that what we have on the list today is gonna come to Galaxy Heroes as well. So leave that like, comment down below on what you hope comes to Galaxy Heroes in 2023. So I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, with Galaxy Heroes, the thing that got me into this game was the hero collector aspect. I thought it was cool that I could get Darth Maul and I can get Mace Windu and I could put him on a team. Boy, did that not turn out to be a great team, but besides the point, that's what I love about Galaxy Heroes. And eventually when Grand Arena came out, there was this competitive aspect that made me enjoy Galaxy Heroes. Unfortunately, with the release of Datacrons, I kind of went back to just enjoying this game as a hero collector and not so much as a good competitive game anymore. But nonetheless, it just kind of brings it back to the original reason why I love playing Galaxy Heroes. And for me, honestly, this would have been controversial a few years ago, but today I see new characters as the new content in Galaxy Heroes. It's the more interesting stuff for me, and it's the thing that gets me personally excited to play this game for the next month and the month after. The one thing that we are starting off with that does have correlation with the leaks is Cal Kestis. In the video where we talk about leaks, allegedly Cal Kestis is coming in 2023, which makes sense. They claim it's going to be a legacy event. Who knows if that's going to be the case? It could be just a marquee character. Whatever the fact might be, I highly expect Cal Kestis to come to Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Number one, EA, owns Galaxy Heroes. EA's most successful Star Wars game that's least controversial is the Jedi series. We know there's a new Jedi Survivor game coming out this year. It just seems like everything's kind of laying out perfectly for Cal Kestis to come to Galaxy Heroes. There's a new Jedi edition to the faction. I don't know if you'd have a Rebel tag, but for sure a Jedi tag. I feel like this is gonna happen this year. I'm not sure if we're gonna get the Jedi Survivor version from the new game, but at the minimum, I do expect a Fallen Order variant coming to Galaxy Heroes, especially since we got the Inquisitors from the series of the Jedi Fallen Order. Why wouldn't we get Cal Kestis, huh? We had Ninth Sister, Second Sister. This is definitely coming at some point. I think it's sooner rather than later. Let's stay on theme. The next one on this list is gonna be Merrin. Man, I love this character, and I hope it comes to Galaxy Heroes, mainly because I feel like the Night Sisters need a lifter unit. They are prime and ripe for one character to boost them. They did get an Omicron in 2022. Unfortunately, not a lot of talk about the Night Sisters, even with that Omicron boost. Merrin coming to Galaxy Heroes, I think the thing that, as I said, developers do a great job creating a character that's meant to lift, supercharge effects. I'd say 8, 9 out of 10 times, they always make really solid characters. I think they would do Merrin a really good degree of justice, and bringing Night Sisters back up to at least a B-grade team at minimum. I would love to see Night Sisters kind of get to like an Iden Versio, Sana Staros type of viability. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, but I think this next on the list is very probable, and it's also kind of corroborating the leaks that we talked about. That's going to be the Purge Troopers. So before the Rise of the Empire came, we heard these alleged leaks, rumors that we're going to be seeing Pikes, and then we're going to see Purge Troopers. And what do you know? A few weeks later, when Rise of the Empire came in, we see new Purge Troopers as well as Pikes. I highly suspect we're going to get a new Purge Trooper at some sort to kind of fill in the Inquisitor faction, especially since we need a lot of Inquisitors for the Rise of the Empire. I don't know what the tags may be. I don't know if they'd added an Imperial Trooper tag, but CG knows that evil troopers with dark helmets sell pretty darn well. So I think this kind of almost confirms that we are going to see more Jedi series characters coming later on this year, now that we have NPC units of the Purge Trooper, but I hope that we get a version of it for our roster to play with. Next up on the list, we're going to move topic a little bit and move on over to the Mandalorian. We are getting another Mandalorian at some point. We just are. One of the most successful things Star Wars has ever done was the Mandalorian, and the version that we have now is still that season 1 variant. What I think we're going to expect later on down the road is a new Mandalorian from season 2 that has a jetpack. Maybe the spear, the Beskar pike spear, whatever it was, especially a dark saber Mando. If you don't think we're gonna get a Mandalorian with a dark saber, you're out of your mind. It's gonna happen at some point, and Mandalorian is one of my favorite characters, and I feel a bit let down with the legendary variant Beskar armor Mandalorian. I want a Mandalorian. When I see it on defense, I'm like, shoot, Mando's on defense. Unfortunately, the 2 Mandalorians we have, they aren't really scary characters on defense. They're mostly offensive, helpful tools, and the marquee version is a lot better than the legendary version, in my opinion. So we're getting a new Mando at some point. Leaks suggest we are getting a Darksaber Mando this year. Who knows if that's going to happen, but it makes me a little bit more excited. We might see Mando back into saddle, and maybe, boy, would it be a journey guide? Would it be a... I think at some point Mando would build up to a galactic legend at some point. We got to wait and see where the rest of the story pans out, with season 3 coming very soon this year as well. And that's another reason why I think we're going to get a new Mando later on this year. The new season comes out, and allegedly, again, we're not talking about ships in this video. We're going to see Mando's new ship from Mando season 2.5, aka the Book of Boba Fett, come this year as well. So if you're a Mando fan, there are some decent suggestions that this year is going to be very exciting, and I'm going to put on the list. I don't even know how we would implement it truly. I know we have 2 instances of Grogu, one of IG-11, one of Beskar Mando. I still think it's a gold mine for CG to do a standalone Grogu. In Book of Boba Fett, we start seeing Grogu be a little bit more independent when he was training with Luke Skywalker. I still don't know. I mean, CG's not scared of having minors in Galaxy of Heroes being in combat, aka Omega. Omega's she's not even a past character. She's a true on combatant in the game. I would hope that we could get Grogu in some sort of capacity. I don't know how I would feel punching Grogu with the Dark Trooper, though. I feel like I'd be a little bit dirty to do that, but I think we can maybe expect a Grogu as maybe a new Hermit Yoda. I don't know. I just want to see Grogu again, and I want to see Grogu a lot. Beskar Mando doesn't show Grogu enough in Galaxy Heroes, I think. Let's get to the second half of this list, and we're going to transition into Tales of the Jedi series, and I want to see Jedi Knight, Dooku, Jedi Knight Dooku. I was going to say Jedi Knight Count Dooku, but that would be, Jedi, you know what I mean. I want to see the Jedi Dooku that we saw from the Tales of the Jedi series. I watched Tales of the Jedi several times over, and obviously the Dooku segment when he was in his Jedi years is the highlight of the show. Most of the episodes were dedicated towards that. Oh man, now that I think about it, I didn't put on the list. I really want to see that Inquisitor that Ahsoka fought off with. Oh boy, should have added that. But nonetheless, if I had to pick one, it's a Jedi Dooku. Moving on. We're going to talk about a little bit of Book of Boba Fett. So Book of Boba Fett, let me first state one thing. The Book of Boba Fett, or the Boba Fett Sign of Jango that we have, that is not the Book of Boba Fett version. That is Mando Season 2 version of Book of Boba Fett Sign of Jango. You guys know what I'm trying to talk. I'm spitting things. I know it's laying on you guys properly, even though it's not coming out the right way here. Boba Fett, I kind of want to redo. I was going to put a new Boba Fett on there, a Boba Fett Daimyo of Tatooine. I believe the developers had said that, they even confirmed that the Boba Fett Sign of Jango is not in Book of Boba Fett, so we could be seeing more Book of Boba Fett stuff this year. But at the minimum, I would love to see more Tusken love. I was hoping to see Boba Fett Sign of Jango have some more Tusken synergy, or even Mandalorian has some Tusken synergy. We might get new Tuskens this year. We do see Pikes are true from the leaks. We are seeing Pikes inside the new territory battles. Maybe we're going to see a Book of Boba Fett expansion now that we're hitting a year later. Maybe see some Pikes. Maybe see an expansion on Book of Boba Fett Sign of Jango, Daimyo of Tatooine, Boba Fett. I think there's a lot of opportunity there, but I think the Tuskens, I think that the Book of Boba Fett changed people's perception on Tuskens quite a bit. Moving on. Crosshair. So again, we talked about leaks, rumors. They said we're going to be seeing a Crosshair. We did see a Crosshair inside of Rise of the Empire. It's an NPC. I believe it's on Baraka. And again, we have Bad Batch Season 2 starting tomorrow, January 4th. So what better time would there be to add another Bad Batch unit? Now, I don't know if the Bad Batch Crosshair that we would get would be for the Bad Batch, or would it be for Imperial Troopers? Oddly enough, in Rise of the Empire, they have Crosshair labeled as a light side Imperial Trooper. which is a little bit odd. It's good to see that it's an NPC. Makes me feel pretty confident we're going to get it at some point. So it's kind of a hybrid between what's going on in Star Wars, the leaks suggest, and just what I want. I think it meets all those 3 expectations. I want to see a new Crosshair come to Galaxy of Heroes for us to play, not for us to fight. Last 2 on the list. Woo! I suspect we're going to get a Saw Gerrera at some point. A new Saw Gerrera. This guy keeps popping his head up in a variety of things. Clone Wars, Rebels, Rogue One, Andor, and they still have not found the love and appreciation inside of Galaxy Heroes after all those variety of instances that we've seen out there. Rogue One has a big emphasis inside of the Rise of the Empire territory battle. Just like how Admiral Raddus is not Rogue One, they just kind of gave them the Rogue One tag. They're getting a bit loose with their tags. I feel like if Saw Gerrera would come, probably would get a Rogue One tag style treatment. And it makes sense seeing them be used inside of Rise of the Empire. I think this is going to happen. I don't know how confident I am it's going to happen this year, but I want it to happen. He's on the more extreme side in terms of the political views for the rebellion. I think it's a really interesting character. I hope it's going to come this year. And even since this is kind of Andor related, since he came up again in Andor, I think we need to wrap up this list with Luthen. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of great stuff inside of Andor. The acting was phenomenal, but I think Luthen takes the cake for my favorite character inside of the Andor series. This guy, I feel like, honestly, he should probably be what Cassian is with going undercover. This guy's amazing at going undercover, playing a double life type of scenario. I don't know if he would have a Rogue One tag. We don't quite know if he has any connection to Rogue One, but again, since they're kind of willy-nilly with tags lately, I would expect we're going to get Luthen as some sort of new Rebel edition to Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. I don't know if it's going to be soon. Usually, again, Capital Games waits a year after a TV show comes out. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Let me know down below which of these characters you think are coming to Galaxy Heroes that you feel pretty confident about, or which other characters do you want to come that feel like it's got a logical connection to what Star Wars is doing at large with their theming, or you don't even care about what's going on in Star Wars at large. You just want to throw some random characters that you want to see come to Galaxy of Heroes, even though it's likely not going to happen. CG likes to stay on theme, but once in a while, they go off theme, like with Dr. Aphra. There's no Dr. Aphra stuff going on in Star Wars, but they're like, we want to do it, so who knows? Things that might not seem connected to Star Wars at large with the current theming could still happen nonetheless. Thank you so much for watching. Leave that like, comment down below, and subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And always remember that it's great to be in the Empire today. Oh, it's great to be in the Empire.